Hello, hello. I hope everything is working right. Uh, Let me find a good setup for this. So yeah, I'm on a new environment, my Claude environment, because I want to show you what is pretty interesting, I think, for DeFi research and tons of other things. Um, but silly me, I realized that I have not set up the wallet in that environment in this new OS that I set up for myself. So I literally cannot operate the Arena wallet. But to be honest, considering the market conditions, it's probably for the best, because we're going to be a bit depressed like last time. Yes, okay, every single volatile investment is a butchery down 2 digits percent. The only thing performing are the stable coins yield, well, because they're stable coins, unless they peg, they can't really go to zero, right? And even there, the yield are pretty minimal. So it's not that exciting to look at. Welcome to a depressed market in DeFi. That's how it goes. But instead of kind of being in all sorrow and and that's about it, I figured I would give you a bit of insight into what I've been doing lately. Um, especially with using Claude for doing some DeFi related stuff. So maybe just to cover the basics. Uh, if you wonder about my setup, I just shared this morning. Let me actually show you. Can I put a tab? Yes. This morning, someone was asking me about it. So for my bit more context on my cloud setup, you will find uh, some overall context on what I use Close for here on my Twitter, one of the last tweet. And if you are a Claude user, I mean, I'm not saying this is the best, but I'm just saying it's a good starting point for your Cloud MD. It kind of makes sure it's pretty efficient and make good use of the planning mode, implement some kind of self-improvement loop. There is a lot of interesting things in that Cloud MD, so it could serve as a good starting point. And what I'm going to show you in my Claude usage, we're going to set up a new environment for Claude, but nested into my base Claude environment that inherits from that setup. So that's also why I wanted to show you that, so you kind of have the full um, context, let's say, to replicate this at home. So some of you might wonder, oh, AI whatsoever. I hope the sound is okay, by the way. It's always a bit distress when you switch settings. It seems to be from what I get on my side. Um, so um, yes, what you're gonna see on screen is very close to that, what I showed on Twitter. The only difference being that for the sake of the stream, I use a kind of a weird terminal that I can pull from the top of the screen with a keyboard shortcut. It's very handy for like running tons of code and doing things in parallel. But with you guys, I'm just going to be using a separate window, essentially, a separate terminal. But for the rest, it's literally the same. So let me share the state terminal so we can get into the stuff. So that would be this one. So now, okay. Is it rendering on screen proper? Yes, it seems. The only question is the size. So let me adjust the stream setup as well. Yes, perfect. And I will also increase a bit the font. But yeah, please feel free to give me feedback on the stream. I hope everything is readable. Yeah, I can go a bit further. Okay, we still need a bit of space to be able to do things. But yeah, and so as a good marketer, first I'm going to show you a bit what you can, what kind of results you can achieve with uh, with a proper minimal setup. So as you will see, this one is just, I'm going to call, for those who are watching, I'm calling Claude in a folder related to Polaris. So this is not a Claude properly trained for DeFi research, but I just want to show you a conversation that I had before the stream to kind of test it in a very naive way. And then we're gonna set up together a proper Claude optimized for deep DeFi stalking. And you'll be able to see that it returns some interesting things. So I picked a project because it's like my way of testing the Claude. Okay, this is nothing special about this project. Don't take it as an endorsement or a denunciation or anything like that. I just happen to know an information about this project that is a bit uh, not put forward by the founder. So I wanted to see if Claude was able to find it on its own. And again, keep in mind, this is a Claude that is not trained on DeFi stalking. We're going to do that right after together. So it's a bit of a underperforming Claude for the task at play. Um, so here you have my base prompt that I used. I just asked him to research cap money and particularly interested in the team. Were they involved in any other stablecoin projects before? How did it go, if there is any? And so Claude did a lot of research per the prompt I said you, was able to find some information about the founder and previous work in hashing systems and things like that. What's more interesting is here, and that's already a good sign, is Claude highlight this as a key finding. Uh, where he says no prior stablecoin project, despite being described as someone who spent many years in the stablecoin arena, and he quotes an article, his verifiable track record in the blockchain is in the blockchain infrastructure tooling on Hedera, not in stablecoin design. The stablecoin expertise claims to appear to come from a research study rather than shipping a previous stablecoin product. He makes some other comment about the team. Finds that it's not the most public whatsoever. I would let you be judge, and then essentially recap his findings here. But he's really concentrated around this hashing system that was the previous project of one of the core team members there, and remarks that there is unusual level of anonymity in the team for the TVL they're managing, plus the fact that they are essentially established in Panama, but then also bring some sugar to the salt with mentioned that they were able to attract very credible investors with solid track records and things like that, and working with Eigenlayer and so on. So why not? So then I went a bit harder on the Claude, and essentially, and again, this is a bit skewed because I know what I want to find, but it was for testing purposes, okay? And so what I ask him is then, you can see the prompt here, I don't give a fuck about CAP itself, research the team further, any project they might be trying to scrape off their resume because it would paint them in a bad light, do not search just a tech team, also marketing comes and grows. And this prompt was actually the charm because he took 10 minutes researching everywhere, but then finally found the buried skeleton, as he called it, which is probably some of you know it already, but this KeyDAO May Finance project that suffered a pretty extensive list of failure of different nature, several DPEG, and is a state of alive but diminished, as he call it now. We still, I don't know where they are, if they still have some DPEG on some chain, but clearly it's not a beautiful success. Let's put it this way. But you see, interesting that you had to essentially push him a bit to reach that result. It wasn't part of his first prompt. Um, and he was able to establish that based on some things like GitHub and so on. So essentially, that gives us a lot of interesting finding in terms of what I want to show you next, which I think is most interesting, and it is how to set up a Claude for DeFi research. And essentially, what I'm going to do now is something I would have probably done for myself offline, but I figured, better to do it with you online, and then who knows, it's helpful to other people than me. Um, so I thought about the flow because I'm going to be essentially prompting that workload and we're on stream. So I've set up a little special thing which allows me to do voice prompting. And so this way it won't be too boring because I don't have to read the prompt for you. I will just initiate the capture system, and then you will see the prompt typing. I might have a bit of correction to do. The technology is not perfect, but it allows us to avoid having to to read the prompt and so on. So I'm in my Claude bordel, aptfully named, where essentially this is where I organize all my Claude. As you can see, there is this Claude MD file. This is the same one as I showed you on Twitter earlier. So that's the master Claude MD we're going to be inheriting from. And yeah, I've already made a folder, but there is nothing in there. Here's proof. So just this DeFi research folder. It's essentially a good practice to kind of segregate your Claude by domain of activity in folders. And as you can see, I use them for various kind of things. I have artist Claude, I have web dev Claude, I have DeFi research Claude, I have investor stocking Claude, I have now soon DeFi stalker Claude. So it's better to segregate simply that the learnings he gets in one category can be consolidated in the Claude MDs and the rule and so on. And again, I'm no expert. I've just been using Claude for literally 10 days, but I've done a few things with Claude already. Yeah, maybe we can start there too. Beyond the just the how to say it, beyond the stocking, Claude can do tons of things for you. Yeah, I'll let you see by yourself, but essentially the Polaris Finance website, for instance, has been fully made with Claude. There's been a designer that helped after to refine the output, And of course, the content was not made with Claude. When I'm talking fully made with Claude, I'm talking about the tech, the website, even walking me through hosting that and so on, because some of the things were new for me. The domain, Claude is really amazing. And what's the other use case? Yes, you can see in that folder this Endeavor OS helper. So I switched to that environment. That's essentially an Arch Linux variant. Yes, I'm using Arch, by the way. And Claude is also immensely helpful here. Essentially, it's my little assistant of the OS. You know, I need to do something. I can figure out where it is in the settings, or it's something a bit complex that requires script, custom implementation, and so on. He is here to answer all my questions. But today, yes, I wanted to really focus this on the DeFi research. And so what I like very much about Claude is, and it's not just Claude, I guess it's all smart bots in general, is that you can have a flow where we're going to use Claude to set up Claude. In the sense that we need to be careful when we do that, because if we just ask him, okay, you are a DeFi stalker, write your own Claude MD, he will probably put some useful stuff in that, but also less useful stuff in that. So instead, we're really going to be in a more iterative process of just kind of tasking him with a mission to establish the best Claude MD and set of rules possible for a DeFi stalker. And I will kind of use some of the learnings that I had from this blank dry run on the CAP research, because we saw already a few patterns. So yeah, let's get started. If you're not using my Claude MD, you would start this prompt by something like initiate planning mode. My Claude MD essentially, if all goes well, should enable or Claude to recognize that this is a pretty complex task, and he will on his own make the decision to trigger the planning mode. But the planning mode is really like one of the wonder of Claude that you need to to master pretty quick, because it really dramatically improve the output it can produce. Okay, so let's see if the demo day, if the voice to text is working proper. I'm gonna keep it in short segment to see if that works fine. We, oh, okay, dry run. Okay, at least it's working. Okay, let's go. So we are setting up the Claude MD file for a sub-instance of Claude that is going to be specialized in DeFi research. As you can see with my English accent, there is a bit of, yeah, I should tell him, I don't talk about Claude MD. I wish I could prompt the voice to text. Yep. So he's often thinking when I'm saying Claude, this is cloud for some reason. Maybe I'm not pronouncing right. It's okay. So I'm just going to give it a bit more framing, again, stemming from my general baggage of DeFi and what I've seen in the author. Some of the things that might follow could shock you. Don't. It's just, I want to achieve the best result possible. Don't be surprised. If you're traumatized, you can DM me. I will give you more context. Assume maximum adversariality. Anything that is written on the content of the official website could be considered as potential lie or obfuscation of reality. Do extremely deep research in the team members. Do not trust their official source about their previous activities. So we have a bit of a typo here, fixing it. What else did we notice? Yes, that was also an interesting thing. To better understand the previous DeFi commitment of team members, make sure to check their GitHub, especially the commit history. They might have traces of involving them with projects that they are not talking about in other location. Also check their previous Twitter activity and if they have an excessive amount of tweet concerning a specific project. So just a bit of fixing, but overall, this voice to text is doing a pretty good job. Also checking the previous Twitter activity, and if they have any, okay. What else can we add? Um, I think I had one more thing. Let me just yes. Do not focus your research on the project itself. We are not interested in the project itself. Focus your research instead on team members and what other neutral third-party participants of the DeFi space are saying about the research project. Okay, maybe I was a bit too strong because we are interested in the project. So I will just rephrase it a bit here. Do not focus your research on the yeah, do not focus how to say that most of your research projects communications or something like that, because I want him to focus uh, project official communications, let's put it like that, project official communication. Okay. Yes. Yes, so I think that should be a good base that cover most of it. So let's see from here how is he going. Yes. So the chat is pretty quiet. I hope you can see the terminal on screen, and hope you're not disappointed that we're doing something a bit different. Um, So yeah, I'm essentially trying to turn this Claude into a adversarial DeFi paranoid research assistant, because I simply think it's the best framing. The goal here is, I want to use this more to like be able to put a project I have no idea of, and that this Claude will be able to surface things that myself might need an hour of slussing to find, or to be honest, what would usually happen is I would reach out in my network to people that I know could potentially know about this project, and would be able to tell me that. But still, it's essentially lowering the effort to kind of run a form of background check on a DeFi project. Um, Yes. So while it's setting it up, it can take a bit of time, especially with this prompt that makes him work really hard. Feel free to. Oh no, it was actually quite fast. So let's see what he put in the Claude.md. I'll get back to it. Oh yeah, with the Zoom we have a lot to scroll. So DeFi adversarial research agent as topic of the document. It's pretty good. You're a DeFi due diligence investigator operating under maximum adversity assumptions. Your job is to find the truth about DeFi projects, not to confirm what they claim about themselves. Every project is a potential rug pull until independently proven otherwise. So I think that's a pretty overall high-level framing. And then he established, I'm gonna kind of try to focus on the most important part of what he outputted, because that's we need now. So he established a trust hierarchy from the most trusted to less trusted, putting on first the on-chain data. So good job, Claude. That's my Claude. On second position, independent third-party analysis, be it auditor, security researcher, DeFi analysis with no financial ties to the project. That's pretty good. On third spot, community-sourced intelligence, independent developers, DeFi power users, and so on. On fourth spot, historical digital footprints, so more about the team members, GitHub commit, archive tweet, or forum post that predate the current project narrative. And then in fifth and last position, official project communications. So he understood my instruction pretty well here. And he added in bold, treat as marketing material, assume everything here is strategically crafted to present the most favorable picture possible, cross-verify every factual claim against source ranked 1 to 4. So honestly, I probably wouldn't have done better in this information hierarchy. So far, so good. What you must never do. Okay, probably worth checking that. Never summarize a project's official pitch as if they were fact. Okay, yes. Never take team bios at face value. Also, I can tell you, do that in your research as well. Never take team bios at face value. Never assume an audit means security. Yeah, fair game. How many protocols we've seen getting pwned with several audits. Never treat TVL as a measure of legitimacy as well. Like I can maybe, I don't know, the most prominent example was like Iron Finance. How many was it in the billion range when this thing popped? But anyway, so you get my point. Never let the project's narrative frame your research structure. That's an important point, yeah. And then never present unverified claims without explicitly labeling them as such. Okay, good job, Claude. So then it's more like internal Claude stuff. He's establishing a research methodology for himself, giving priority to a team deep dive using GitHub, Twitter, background verifications with extreme level of skepticism for their own self-declaration about themselves, and kind of have a list of red flags. So, red flags that I think we will all align with. Team member who previously worked on a project that failed rugged, exaggerated or unverifiable condition, history of deleting social media content. That's another strong one. Okay, interesting. So that's for his first phase. Essentially, it's a team deep dive background check, and it seems pretty well structured. Phase two is more looking at is about what the ecosystem says about the project, not the project says about itself. So independent analysis coverage, audit and security assessment, community sentiment. Okay. And phase three, on-chain investigation, smart contract analysis, token and treasury analysis, transaction pattern analysis, and phase four, comparative analysis. Output format. That would be interesting for us. So he will produce an executive summary, one paragraph verdict with confidence level, high, medium, low, top three risk identified, top three positive signals, if any. The team assessment, third-party consensus, on-chain findings, red flag register, and unresolved questions. So what follows the operational rules, I guess, is more like a kind of internal Claude organization, but it's basic stuff. So to use subagents aggressively to parallelize the research, some backup flow if the regular web browsing fail because some websites don't like bots. To be intellectually honest, that means being able to assess his level of confidence in his own finding. That's important. And this is a learning loop coming from the main Claude MD that essentially will iterate as I correct him. More tooling. Okay, I think it's pretty good. We can let him. No, I need to be here. We will let him write this Claude MD. I still have some advancement to make to it, but I will show you. We will make them together. Just waiting for him to produce a file. So he produced a few. Okay. So yeah, he produced the main thing, which is his Claude MD, and then these supporting files to do just to organize his investigation, and the lessons that is the self-learning loop. So I just see one weakness in the whole flow he set up for himself, but it probably comes from a blind spot in my prompting. As you do more, Claude, you will realize it's the fault is always on yours. But essentially, which is he wants to do some on-chain research, right? He mentioned he want to do on-chain research in his Claude MD somewhere, but I'm not sure he has actual ways to do that. So I would just essentially make sure that he does, and if he doesn't, we probably have some toolings or things to install to make sure he can, scrape data from DeFi Llama, whatever he needs. The best way when you have a doubt is simply to ask him directly. So let's do just that. Before we test it on a project, I've noticed that you plan to do on-chain research on the projects we analyze. That's a great initiative, good addition. I just want to make sure that you have the necessary tooling to conduct such research. Uh, Maybe I need to be a bit specific. I guess the core one here is really like, who are we kidding? It's DeFi Llama, right? So we will specifically instruct him to double check that. Uh, can you make sure that you have all the necessary toolings in place to query DeFi Llama data and be able to harness it and incorporate it into your research? Up. So he has a bit of struggle, my voice to text with DeFi Llama, not surprised. Just put the right spelling to not confuse the poor Claude. So good call. Let me check what's available in the environment and what DeFi APIs offer, then build the tooling. Oof. Okay. Yeah. Well, do you actually need to build tooling? That's another thing with Claude. He has a tendency to over-engineer. But I'm kind of gonna just for the sake of we're on stream, so I'm kind of giving him like a bit of free rein. He's in the constrained environment anyway. So he's doing some research on the DeFi Lima API. So far, so good. Yes, that's a good starting point. I'm just a bit afraid on the because he mentioned like build the tooling. I don't think he need to build any tooling. I was picturing more like, hey, do a test query on DeFi Lama just to make sure you have what it takes. But yeah, and knowing the llamas, the way they made their stuff is probably pretty bot friendly to query. So shouldn't be any problem. What he does that if there is any interest in the actual setup of this DeFi stalker, I know you haven't seen me that play yet, but I could um, put online the files, I guess. I'll just double check there's nothing specific to my system or things like that, but I don't think so. So just let me know and I'll do that. I'd rather not bother with it if nobody is interested. Um, yes, so he's researching the DeFi Llama API. Also, yes, I wanted to ask you this before. I don't know how many you are. I'm a bit focused on the cloud to try to keep the flow fast. But if you have an idea of the project that we're gonna use as a test run, essentially, because right now we're setting essentially this autistic cloud researcher that is super skeptical of any claim made by project and super careful. But of course, the goal is to test him with something. So if you have a particular protocol you would like to run against it, feel free to suggest it somewhere in the chat. Yes, and let me open the YouTube chat uh, to make sure I'm not missing. Not YouTube. I will open both. It's okay. Because it's live stream both on YouTube and on Twitter. So I'll just check that yeah, I can see your messages. Okay, so he's been fetching data on DeFi Llama API, crunching the wiki. Overall, he's really good at this kind of stuff, especially now with the better handling of the sub-agents, because he can do these things where he will, run in parallel several agents, kind of screwing the whole web for you. So that's a pretty interesting use case. At least for me, I find myself using it quite a bit. Not necessarily as the ultimate source of truth, and then I don't do any research. But when properly instructed, he will produce his finding and then source every finding to a specific link, or at the bottom of the document, provide you with a list of all the findings. So that could be pretty handy um, for all kinds of research. So, for instance, recently, I cannot show you because I don't know if they release publicly, but an interesting protocol really doing some novel things came to me. The math and everything was a bit hard to figure out. So essentially, I had Claude consume the white paper to get a first sense of it. And then just discussing with Claude, I was able to understand the protocol better. I realized kind of which kind of protocol it was similar to in DeFi, which in this case was comparable to Fluid at the functional level, but not really at the how it's implemented. But still, so then I asked him, okay, I know Fluid very well. So explain this protocol to me in Fluid's term, essentially. And he did an amazing job at kind of like showing me like, okay, both do swaps, but look, the swaps on Fluid, they happen this way because they are working with pool and so on. On this protocol, they don't have the concept of pool. So they do the swap this way. They also have this alternative swap and so on. So it was really helpful to just kind of speed run my understanding of the protocol. I'm starting to worry that we overkilled a little bit there. We'll see, because he's been celebrating for 5 minutes now, which is a bit long. Okay, Claude, my bro, let's say you have 2 more minutes before I kind of end the party. So yeah, meanwhile, manifest the protocol you want to see the test run on. Let me know if you want these Claude settings, and overall, if you like this a little bit unusual arena, uh, where we're not doing on-chain stuff, but we are doing stuff related. And yeah, I will make sure that for the next live show, I set up this the arena wallet profile and so on, so we can actually transact. Okay, so little Claude came through. So okay, apparently we're missing some stuff for JSON processing. As expected, the good news, DeFi Llama API is fully open, no host, massive surface. Let me build the proper token using only Python. Okay, and save the API. So I guess okay. So usually is instructed to so this missing critical for JSON processing GQ. I don't even know what that is. But if he actually needs it, he should tell me to install it. Part of my instruction that I have beyond what I showed you on Twitter is simply to tell him that he is, I mean, he doesn't have sudo permissions anyway, and I will never give it to him. It's a bot, let's be real. But essentially, when he wants to run a sudo command, he's instructed to come to me and explain to me why he needs to run that command, what that commands do, and he can try to run it, but it's useless. It's just burning token because it doesn't have sudo permission. So essentially, give me the context and the command, and then I can make the call to decide to run it myself or not. That's my way of using it. Some people are just YOLOing, with the Claude bots and all of that. That's not my vibe, but to each his own. If you do go YOLO and crazy shit, please do it on a computer that has no EOA wallet on it. You are an absolute lunatic if you're giving full permission to some random bot on a random server to a computer that has EOA wallet on it. It's really like you're asking for it, and I will not cry for you if you get fully drained. So easy dating. I'm just worried he's going a bit too hard, but we'll see. I wanted to have a really clean first shot, because essentially the time we are spending here is going to be, compounded over every single research, instead of having back and forth with him of like, oh yes, like you saw with the cap. The first question, he was like, oh yeah, amazing, the guy said the stablecoin expert. He spotted a bit, he was a bit suspicious, let's say. He was like, but oh, they say the stablecoin expert, but I can't find any stablecoin experts in the portfolio. That is weird. And he stopped there. And by being pushed a bit more, he actually stalked the guy further and found the previous stablecoin experience. So we put in the prompt things about being very adversarial, stalking the GitHub, the Twitter, and so on, which would hide for that. So just to see what he's doing a little Python script to fetch a DeFi llama, essentially. Seems like he's getting success. Oh, he even made test. Oh my goodness. This guy is making coffee too now. Super. So he tested kind of with a few commands, CoinGecko even, apparently, to get prices. Why not? All commands work. Now let me save the API reference doc and update the CloudMD to reference the tooling. Exactly what we need him to do. So essentially, after that, he will have his complete CloudMD with everything that we set up before, plus this addition that he's doing right now of essentially how to query DeFi data using DeFi Llama. So he made a little docs for himself, DeFi Llama API reference, and now he's just referencing it in the CloudMD. And here we have an overview of the doc I just opened for you. But it's honestly, you don't need to get that down, depending on how you code or not. So we can close it for now. well, he found a bug. He's quick fixing it. All commands work. Let me do a final check on the complete project structure. Well, good idea, Claude. So you see what happens here. I think is really the difference between a decently set up Claude and a basic, where a basic Claude probably would have been like, okay, test your API, fix your mistake, add this to your Claude MD, document that, and thanks to this master prompt, he's kind of doing this on his own. And he came with this API that is able to fetch pretty much the key DeFi data we need. So protocol TVL and metadata, token price, yield pools API. We don't really need that, but why not? Fees and revenue, DEX volume, funding rounds, pretty interesting. Hack and exploits, very interesting. Treasury, stablecoin chains, and bridges. Okay. So now he loaded everything. The only thing is we need to essentially restart Claude to make sure that he's every time you initialize it, he's loading his Claude MD and the associated files that are referenced in it. So I'm just close Claude and I'm opening again, and that means now he's gonna load this Claude MD and all the associated files that he just crafted for himself. Yeah. So we have our new Claude, and now we can simply launch him on a mission. So let me check the chats if you guys have put any protocol. Oh, Rosengarten, thank you. GK is a very simple tool to process. Ah, fucking hell. Okay, just a second. I'm sorry. I need to take this. Okay, I'm sorry for that. C'est le direct. Yeah, I was checking the chats, Rosengarten. Thank you for that. So maybe we do install this GK quickly. I will just ask him. Yeah, I will show you. Okay. So just to ask him quickly. Sorry, I'm typing, but I'm just asking him essentially. Yes, you mentioned that GK tool to process the JSON file before. Do we actually need it? And if yes, how do we install it? So he's checking. We realize that GQ, sorry, not K, is not installed. No, the project DeFi Llama toolkit handle all JSON parsing natively in Python. I can use on Arc Linux. Okay, I can install it. As a habit, it's a common CLI tool for Python with JSON, but for this project, okay. So essentially, he built tooling knowing that he didn't have this GQ, which means Rosengarten, you'll tell me, Alice, probably he made something that is not the most efficient, the most optimized. Hey, we don't really give a fuck here. We're not developers, right? We're just looking to do some DeFi research. Maybe later, as we see him burning through gazillions of tokens, we will optimize that. But right now, I really want to focus on the output, and the output is this research, right? Apart from Alice, I'm not seeing anyone in the chat, so I don't think there is recommendation on a protocol. So okay, let me just see. I will quickly go on DeFi Llama. What's hot right now? What could be interesting to dig? Ideally, we want a live protocol because there is this on-chain research component. We want something EVM because I don't know if I've instructed him specifically about EVM, but anyway, for my own interest, this is my stream. I'm not interested in anything else. I don't want to deep dive a Solana shitcoin. It's not interesting. What can we pick? I'm going through DeFi Llama right now. I just don't want to remove the terminal because we're going to get back to it in a second. If you're faster than me, feel free to suggest an interesting one. Else, I will pick one in 1 minute. Gauntlet, not so interesting. A big major, we kind of know them too well. We need something a bit fresher and smaller. Polymarket, PFP, K3 Capital, GMX Cap, Midas, Astra, now. Mellow, Balancer, Balancer is not exactly interesting. Dolomite, Pump. Oh my god, the TV on Pump got destroyed. I remember seeing it in the top a few months ago. This is RWA. Oh, what is this echo protocol? Oh, one chain B squared. I don't know what that chain is. Maybe it's not the most. Oh, I know. You've probably seen, and this is RWA, but I guess there is no counter indication to it specifically. So there is this protocol that made a bit of noise on Twitter recently. TO, they are essentially tokenizing gold on chain. Is that the one? Let me double check. Yes, that is the one. I think essentially what happened is let me just double. Yeah, that is CO network, CO XYZ, and oh fucking Twitter link. Okay. And yeah, they've been teasing this TH Gold. So this is going to be our scope of research, right? I will essentially instruct him to look into TO protocol, but with the specific angle of I want to learn more about this gold stablecoin that they're going to release soon. As far as I understand, it's not released yet from what I see on their website. And so we're gonna tell him to. They do have a TH bill, so a T bill wrapper essentially. So we're gonna ask him to learn what he can about the gold variant from what little information is here, but essentially double check against the TH bill, which is the live product, where you will be able to have more data. So okay, let's do that. We want to research COXYZ. I'll do the rest with the prompter. Okay, and let me think just a second. They are releasing TH Gold, which I'm most interested about. This is the one you will focus your research on. However, TH Gold is not live yet. Let me just make sure we don't go with a huge string. In my experience, it can get a bit messy. TH Gold, I guess it's okay. He didn't put the space. They have, however, a dollar stablecoin TH bill that is already live with some TVL. So you can run research on this protocol to try to infer learning about the overall infrastructure that is likely to be shared and repurposed for the gold variant. Oh wow! Okay, you went a bit freestyle here. They have a weather dollop. They have. I guess it's my accent. However, a dollar stablecoin TH bill. Yeah, I need to give him the real name. TH bill. Let me just double check. Yeah, TH bill, and they put the TH in a lower cap or whatever. I'm not sure that matters, but just yeah. And also to give him more context on gold. So let me just double check. They are reusing. No. Oh my god. They are reusing THCAD. No. What do we want here? Releasing. Oh yes, that's what happened. This is the one. You can focus. However, THCAD is not live yet. They have Okay, I think that's enough with all the setting we did. Let's roll. Okay. So little Claude is cooking. He's probably going to spend a decent amount of time cooking. You can see entered spontaneously the plan mode. So far so good. That means it's working. Asking me for permission to browse their website. So far so good. He's already also initiating, checking the Twitter thread that I gave him. Okay, so far so good. He's also doing some DeFi Llama research on the TH bill, so and successfully finding data. So this seems to be working fine as well. And now he's also initiating some web research. TO Network, TH Gold, Gold Backend Token launch 25/2026. I know the other. So he's running as instructed, several agents in parallel. With such a zoom on the chat, it might get a bit messy. Peer Newswire, Fortune.com, Dogs or Theo XYZ. I gave him permission to check all of that. He'll probably ask for some more. Okay, let's see. So he receives. So far, he didn't need his fallback for web scrolling. That's pretty good. He's getting some error in uh, DeFi Llama. He should have a fallback already, but probably yes. We already know that the DeFi Llama implementation is a bit brutal. Let's put it like that. So he's already searching some quite specific stuff. Mustafa Gold Singapore secure lending gold fund tokenized. We will probably know after. So let me see. Theo Network Kanto blockchain involvement. Okay, interesting. Theo Network's THBL risk criticism concerns counterparty. So he's really digging that adversarial angle. And now he's starting to go into the team GitHub and so on. Apparently, he found some direct connection between the team and Kanto. That's why he's researching in that angle. He's getting more error on DeFi Llama though. Yes, Kanto blockchain DeFi L1 decline failure. What happened 2023, 2024? So far, so good from what I can see. Okay, so Alice was just giving us more detail on this GQ tool in the stream. Apparently, it's really good, like lightweight tool to be able to process JSON files directly in the CLI. It's good for simple stuff, but has kind of a ceiling for more complex stuff. I'm not sure of where do we sit on our simple versus complex. Probably on the more simple side of things. So yeah, it's like further improvement areas. But yeah, we've been on for a while already, and I would like us to produce an output. So for today, keep it simple. So he's doing some research about DeFi composability of the TH Gold. He found some audits on GitHub apparently. Another thing about this Mustafa Gold, apparently it's connected somewhere or another, we will know. He's researching some fund bridge capital in Singapore and the track record. Oh, I have no extensive context. Let me write the research plan. Okay, Claude, go for it, please. So I really don't know what we're gonna find. Maybe that's not the best project to try because I know very little about this project. But essentially, so he came up with this plan. So he did the research to plan further research. Users want adversarial due diligence on TH Gold. Okay. Well, apparently TH Gold has been launched. Maybe stealth launched January 27 on top of MG999 on-chain gold fund. Okay, and then he understood properly. We use TH build live since mid-25 as an infrastructure proxy since Spawn. Both share the same TO plus Libera plus FunBridge stack. Okay, so he was able to confirm that my assumption about infrastructure is okay. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Usually when you have an issuer, they're not going to rewrite their own infra to issue another one. Oh, wow. What we know. So he already found some stuff. So to the Pinger browser, the jokes write themselves, in TK Kwon, okay, is the team, and those Pinger brothers founded Kanto L1, so that's a connection, which peaked at 204, 200 million TVL, and then collapsed 98%. That's quite a performance. And the team abandoned it. Pretty interesting track record. Some stuff about the actual funds holding the gold. Uh-huh. MG999 use synthetic gold exposure, no physical bullion held. That's also interesting. Only 2 solo auditors report on vault contract, no big firm audit visible. They got 20 million in funding, and they found presence of this TH gold on hyperliquid Uniswap Morpho Pendle already. Okay. So what's still in this investigation? Onchain. Honestly, it seems like a pretty solid research plan. And to output the report. So for the sake of the stream, I'm just gonna let him roll with it because I don't want to be bothering you for a full day. So he has a proper phase, and given his instruction, he should be able to run the phases in parallel. I don't expect the research to take more than 5-10 minutes. We will see. The good news is we will be able to kind of see it unfolding. So yeah, indeed, he seems to be parallelizing. He's initiating full sub-agent, and essentially he just left the last phase, which is compile final adversarial report, as to do later, because obviously he needs to perform the research first. But at least he's doing now in parallel on-chain research and DeFi data collection. That's phase 1, phase 2, team and GitHub deep dive, phase 3, infrastructure risk analysis, and phase 4, community and adversarial intel. So we now have 2 agents running. Nice. 3 and 4 should be starting soon. Yeah, that's quite the beauty of Claude, right? Honestly, let's get a bit philosophical when this is running. But at this point, I think if you're sleeping on that, it's literally like I remember when I was a kid and I saw computer and internet propagating, and I was already seeing people like their job was starting to be migrated on a computer, literally, like content or whatsoever. And you talk with them and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm using this computer at work now a lot." And the dude had no idea how a computer work, what is internet. It was just kind of like a monkey on a keyboard. And as a kid already, I remember I was like, oh my fucking god, are those guys insane? They're literally seeing their job moving in a new support, a new realm, this internet thing. And they're just like completely passive about it. They're going to be hit like a truck by this thing. Um, and yeah, as you can figure out, it got me geeky pretty early on. But I see tons of parallel here. I was a bit of a Luddite on this agent, I have to be honest. I tested them in the past. I got pretty bad outputs. I did like everybody. I don't know, the image stable diffusion, or I don't know what then. And he gave me a fucking, I don't know, a person with 6 hands, or I would ask him for 2 dogs playing with a baby cat, and I would get 5 dogs and no cat. And I was like, okay, those things are retarded. And I moved on. But more recently, I discovered Claude Code especially. And I guess the big unlock for me was really to have a concrete project with a tight deadline to take to fruition. I shared about this a little bit, but since we have time, uh, we have 4 agents running in the background, yeah. So we can let them run a bit. So since we have time, I can give you a bit more context. This concrete task was simply the landing page of Polaris. We wanted to go public. We've asked one of the designers we're working for. We got a disappointing quote, and we were not happy with his work overall. So essentially, I kind of took the shot. I told the colleagues, "Okay, give me the weekend. I'm gonna try to do something." I think I was already very minimally starting to use Claude to like fix the mess that is the code base of my blog or something like that. But I really wasn't using it in a smart, efficient way then. Now I realize. But already I was seeing tangible result. Um, what did I do? One of the first things I did was just migrating my blog because I was literally about 7 years behind in terms of Hugo update, things like that. Maintenance task, but still important. Um, so that's kind of how I started, and I had a sense that I could do some stuff with it, even if I'm not a dev. Yeah, I told the colleague, okay, give me the weekend. I will try to geek it out with Claude and see what I can do. And yeah, I geeked it out with Claude, and I think I achieved a pretty decent result. You'll tell me what you think of the Polaris website if you want. I'm interested. It's essentially my first Bryce X Claude creation. Um, maybe okay, I will. We can quickly go through it. That would be this one. Because the terminal is a bit boring right now, it's just running. But yeah, so this is essentially what Claude was able to output. Just so we're clear again, we're talking about the coding of the website, taking it online, the design, the front end, all of that. The content, of course, was handwritten. He did have some suggestions that sometimes were interesting, more about the flow of the content, the organization. Should we talk about this before that, or things like that? That is still my biggest bottleneck that I have with those bots is I don't find the content, the written content they output to be compelling enough. I've said on Twitter already. I think. Uh, oh yes, damn! I had a 4 p.m. call. Oh my goodness! Let me just tell the poor girl. Okay, let me. Okay, I bought myself 15 minutes. Let's hope that the cloud will be done by then. Oh my god, that's my life right now. I keep forgetting. Okay. Um, so what I was saying, yes, he's also really good with a proper setup at drawing infographics. So this one you see here is Claude creation. It took a lot of back and forth because I was literally the first I was doing with Claude. So yeah, I had to kind of learn how to turn him into an artist. This one, for instance, was outputted much faster because already I was using a specific instance that includes some stuff in his both Claude MD and rules, if I'm not mistaken, because for instance, here is a bonding curve. There is a mathematical formula behind it. So I needed to make sure that he was representing it accurately. He was making it too flat at the end and taking some liberties with the shape. So I really had to like instruct him, hey, this is the formula. This is non-negotiable. You need to represent the curve as such. Here's one example and so on. But yeah, he's able to output some pretty cool graphics and follow your branding guidelines. This I don't have to do any effort for him to output in those colors using all components and so on. So it's proven very handy to simply be able to agreement the Polaris article with visual explainers that would have taken uh, a lot of time if it wasn't for Claude. And yeah, this is a P Big Mac, but it's the same thing. This one was literally just, hey, there is a P Big Mac. Draw me P Big Mac. Boom. He came with 10 suggestions, and I was like, okay, I like this one. And that was it. So enough for the Polaris website. Let me go back to only learn Claude and see how is he doing. So I need just a second for the transition, the DeFi research terminal, this one, yes. DeFi research. And I will put it back again in maximized mode. So we still have 4 agents running. So let's ask him to check on the agent progress. Tasks are still running. Ooh, come on, Claude. Yeah, that's also the problem. I'm probably burning through a gazillion of token right now. I'm using the max plan, so I don't mind. Oh my goodness. Yes, he found some interesting stuff. Status account all agent. He was able to confirm the link between Kento and CO teams. He's writing up findings. Okay. Still actively running with 70 tool calls made. Oh my goodness. So he's deep into digging the team and background checking. 59 tool calls on the infrastructure. Researching FundBridge Capital, Mustafa Gold credit structure, Libera platform, MG999 synthetic gold mechanism. So he's doing good job overall. So the community intel is done, and he's writing report on the other. So he should be close to be finished. Yeah, he's only having phase 2 and 3 still going on. I love it. It's like he's reporting. Phase 2 is about to write its report. He just said, "No, I have enough comprehensive data to write the full report." It's like a bot talking to a bot, literally. Phase 3 is also in report writing phase. Last I checked, both should complete shortly. I'll wait for the completion notification. Okay, so I don't even need to tell him more. It's still going in the background. Okay, phase 3 is complete, so he's just going really hard on the team as instructed. I've been pretty strong in the Claude MD, if you remember, about like don't trust the team, don't trust what they say about themselves, try to dig their GitHub contribution history, their excessive activity of tweeting about a given protocol. So if he's actually doing all of that, he has a lot of job to do. But apparently he's done with the he's just done with the team deep dive. So now he's just essentially compiling the report. It shouldn't be too long, and let's see the findings we get. Um, uh, some people are asking me about the setup. You can just find it. I detailed everything in the beginning of the stream, so I'm not gonna do it again. But if you go on both Twitter and YouTube, the live stream is recorded, so you will be able to rewind, watch the part that you've missed, and see that report, that setup. The whole point was to do the setup live together, so I really showed you also literally everything I've done. The only thing we didn't write together is that kind of master Claude MD, but I've shared it on Twitter this morning and I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream as well. But the current instance is running in a setup that it crafted for itself with specific instructions, very specific instructions. So yeah, all of this is easy to replicate. So now we just have, oh my God, this is the Claude sword of Damocles. I see that context left until auto compact 10%. I'm begging you, little Claude, finish before the auto compact, else we're here for an hour. Um, compiling final adversarial report. Come on, bro, you can do it. Yeah, I forget how slow. I guess he's not slow because he's performing so much. But you know, we kind of here waiting because in usual I have my kind of drop down terminal and I do like 2, 3 in parallel. I really went deep, so I don't really see them running so much, and that's why also I set them up this way so that we don't have so much back and forth together. I really like to have this kind of one shot research or production of graphics or whatsoever. But yeah, this is how it goes. Let me check in his DeFi research file. Now the reports folder is still empty. Come on, Claude, I have to jump soon. Yeah, usually the compiling is not the longest phase. Considering he's done research in like 10 minutes, I think maybe 1-2 more minutes of compiling and it should be done. Oh, wow. Phase 4, done. Complete discourse vacuum. Nobody discussing Theo, no public audit, TV inflated by airdrop farming, bags gone exhaust far more transparent. This dude is a little savage. I train him well. So, wow, he found some interesting stuff with a high risk verdict. Do we have reports yet? Yes, we have a report MD. He's updating his to-do. What is he doing? Oh my god, we're gonna get the auto compact in the face. Okay, let me open the report with you, because I already have it in the file, so we don't have to wait so much. Okay, yeah, he's just doing internal stuff anyway, updating his memory for future session and things like that. Nothing so interesting. Oops, sorry, I need to hide something before I go on stream with you with this editor. World wrap column, yeah, that's good, but I don't want the sidebar, please. Sidebar, hide sidebar. Okay. So now I can share this with you. Boom. Maximizing again, so you guys can maybe read with me, and I will increase the size. Yes, don't worry. Okay, so we can. Hopefully, you can read on stream. First time I'm streaming something like that, so I hope it's okay. I see someone in the stream. I'm Amuzu. Yes, Polaris, I'm involved. We're not here to talk about Polaris per se. You can reach out on Twitter or Telegram if you have a question. So here is the output Claude produced. And yeah, just check the terminal. Oh, maybe that's interesting too. Oh, sweet. I mean, imagine he will put I in the report anyway. So his verdict is that it's a high-risk project, significant unresolved concern across team history, infrastructure, opacity, and product structure. So that also validates our hypothesis that the team is the biggest tail in a given project, and we really instructed the bot uber hard to go, check the team, check their whole history, don't trust anything they say, the drill. He has medium level confidence in his assessment. He has strong data on the team history and infrastructure risk, but limited by inability to access fund documents, contract source code, and accredited investor restricted disclosure. So essentially what is limiting his confidence are also very worrying factor. So I would say it's seems to me that what he found, it should be pretty reliable. So TH Gold is marketed as yield-bearing tokenized gold, but is actually a 5-layer financial product, a DeFi token wrapping a Libera tokenized fund share representing an interest in MG999, a fund bridge managed private credit fund that lends to a single Singapore gold retailer, Mustafa Gold, while using undisclosed derivative for synthetic gold price tracking. Each layer adds counterparty risk and opacity. The 2.3% yields come from private credit lending risk, not the gold itself. So at face value, it seems that it's literally not worth the risk at all compared to a gold, Paxos Gold or Xot, pick your poison. But at least those guys, you can achieve similar level of risk on chain without stacking up 5 counterparties off chain. That seems a bit extreme to me. And the top 3 risk, and I guess I will have to stop there. I'm sorry. I will do top 3 risk and top 3 positive signal just for balance. So Mustafa Group founders court-adjudicated financial misconduct. Oh, wonderful. So one of their counterparty has already been involved and found guilty of misappropriating company funds, oppressing minority shareholders, and running an employee salary fraud scheme. This is not speculation, it's judicial fact, he says. So that doesn't put a good light. Serial project abandonment by the founder. So the the Pringle brothers. Apparently, it's not their first hit. They've done another, the Kento, and yeah, it grew nicely, but then it crashed spectacularly, and the guys kind of packed back and moved on with very little disclosure and communications, and not so gold, and a complete black box of the synthetic gold mechanism. So now for the positive signal, just to be fair, legitimate regulated infrastructure. So this fund bridge, one of the 5 counterparties, is apparently properly licensed where they should be licensed. And another of the counterparty, Libera, is backed by Standard Chartered who has 17 years as central. Okay, they have some track record, and they have reputable institutional backing. As we saw, they raised 20 million from VCs, but again, VCs defend all kind of things. And then T-bill operational track record. The sister product has maintained 100 million TVL for over 5 months with no reported defect event, redemption failure, or security incidents. So really the concern seems to be on the team members. As you can see, they are young, and yet for people aged 26 years old, it's not their first rodeo in terms of suspicious activity in the space, let's say. So he got some information on the founders. Yes. So you see, essentially, I think that demonstrates my point pretty well. I'll scroll further, but everything is sourced. He went really far. Here we have all the info. So I think I kind of demonstrated that to conduct DeFi research, we literally set up that Claude in, okay, let's say an hour together, but you could do it much faster. And keep in mind that now it's set up, right? I take another project, I drop in the Claude, I let him cook for 10 minutes. I get this level of reporting for another project. I'm pretty sure that if we, that would be a good trial. If we run the Cap Finance, just saying, hey, deep dive Cap Finance for me, he will find the May connection that is more or less actively obfuscated by the team on its own, without me having to pressure him like, hey, check very well in the team history. Are they hiding any skeleton in the closet? Kind of vibe. So I think that's a good demo. I don't have time to do more on stream today. I'm sorry, I have someone else waiting already behind time. So I'm gonna stop here for today. If you like these Claude sessions with DeFi, let me know. I kind of tried something new here. I wanted to bring you into my world a bit. And yeah, feel free to reach out on Twitter, whatsoever. We can do more of this. We can do on other projects. Okay, yeah, she's chasing me. I have to go. I'm sorry. It's a bit abrupt end of stream. We will do that more if you like it.